Hello everyone, Cheesy Monkeys here. Today we're going to be ranking every single minigame up to Fall Guys Season 4. Now, I have recorded a lot of this video in Season 3, so if the gameplay looks a bit little odd or anything, that would be why. And also, this video took a really long time to make, so it would be greatly appreciated if you could like and subscribe to the video. But let's get into it. There are 45 minigames in this game, and let's get on to the worst one. Quick editor's note here, this video has taken a lot longer to come out than it should have. That's why I've been missing a few weeks, because I promised that this video would be the next video to come out, and it's just taken a while to come out, because my school started up again, and I just didn't really have much time to edit a video. I kept forgetting to do stuff, so I'm very sorry about that. Also, I forgot to mention it in the intro, but this video is opinionated, so if one of your favourite minigames is low down on the list, it doesn't mean it's bad, it just means I don't like it very much. Just thought I'd point that out. Anyway, let's continue with the video. Number 45. Perfect Match is one of the most boring minigames in Fall Guys, and that's actually quite surprising because it has a pretty nice concept. Basically, you have to go onto the tile that it tells you to go on, and if you don't get onto it in time, you die in the slime. This isn't a new concept, it's been in games for a while, Mario Party, Roblox, probably Minecraft as well. But I think Fall Guys does it kind of badly in my opinion. It's called Perfect Match, and it makes you think it's a matching minigame, which it isn't really a matching minigame. But the main problem is that it's just too slow. You can get onto the right tile without memorizing it. If you just watch what everyone else is doing, then you can easily win. It's not that hard, but if you get griefed in it, it just feels annoying, so that's why it's so low on the list. It's just a bit too slow for me to really like it. Number 44. In my opinion, Fruit Shoot is one of the worst minigames in Fall Guys, because all you have to do is walk forward, because the only obstacles are fruit and a conveyor belt. And going into the middle, there's no point in doing that, because one, you have more fruit coming to you, and you have logs coming at you. And two, there are shields on the side so you don't get hit by fruit. But if you do get hit by a fruit, you're going to get sent all the way back to the start of the match, and then you've pretty much lost. The only thing that can really save you is the big eatuses that sometimes spawn on the side, in which case you get lucky and you've won. So, in my opinion, it's basically all just luck. Number 43. Well, it's our first team game on the list, and this time it is Egg Scramble. I really do not like Egg Scramble, because it's just, I always seem to lose, I don't know why. Even though I'm actually trying, I just lose. A lot of the time, it's just whichever team gets the least amount of eggs to start off, just gets bullied and all your eggs get taken. That's basically the best strategy of winning, which is kind of unfair. And I just don't like the way it works. You have to grab the eggs, and when two people grab an egg for a while, the egg just gets launched into the air, and it's just really weird and feels a bit janky to me. Number 42. Team games are going to be a bit of a trend on this list right now, because a lot of people, including myself, do not like team games very much. The reason why is because you can be playing the best you possibly can, and your team will just let you down. Now, I don't think this is for every team game, but Hoarders, it definitely is. Hoarders, you have to hit the balls into your side, and there's 3 sides, and it's not that hard, except the balls have really weird physics. I'm going to talk a bit more about it when we get on to Full Ball. But sometimes the volleyballs feel like bowling balls, sometimes they feel like tennis balls. It's crazy, I don't understand. But anyway, because of the weird physics and because of it's a team game, that's why it's so low on the list. Number 41. And now we have Egg Scramble. Wait, didn't we used to do this? Oh, wait, no. Now we have Egg Siege. Egg Siege is basically just Egg Scramble, but in Season 2. It uses the swinging axes and drawbridges from Season 2. And I like the new depth it adds to Egg Scramble, makes it a lot better, and the bigger map is a lot better as too. And instead of having these little cubby holes that you have to chuck the eggs into, you have huge forts, and it's a lot cooler, but still the same problems apply. It's got weird egg physics, it's just a bunch of grabbing, and one team always gets bullied. It's just very unfair, and therefore I cannot put it any higher on this list. Number 40. And now we're on to Full Ball, which is the game I mentioned earlier, which uses the footballs. Now, this one is really apparent with the weird ball physics. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like hitting it from underneath will launch it really far, but hitting it from anywhere else just makes it feel like a bowling ball. But that means that goalies, when you stay in the goal, because it's a little divot going down, you can dive out. And that's kind of cool, I guess, but it's really annoying because back in Season 1 days, when you thought you were going to get into finals, and then bam, you got hit by a full ball and you lose. It's just really annoying, but I do think that the new updates they've added to the game made it a lot better. Number 39. Whoop whoop, we have our first final on the list. And this final is Full Mountain. I don't really like Full Mountain because a lot of it's RNG. In fact, a lot of people actually call it RNG Mountain. And a few things I do like about it is, first of all, it feels like you're in a giant pinball machine. And I really like that design. It's really cool how it has the balls getting chucked at you. But they're like the only obstacle. It's basically just run and hope you can win. And yeah, it just feels like RNG. Also, I really hate the grabbing the crown mechanic, because the crown goes up and down. If it just stayed in position, and you're in first place, you can just run and grab it. But since it goes up and down, sometimes you can be winning, and have to stop, and then someone else can just go and take it. So it's not very fair, which is why I've put it this low. Number 38. Now we get on to the minigames I actually kind of enjoy, starting with Rock and Roll. The premise of this minigame is to push a big heavy ball down a corridor, and then you have to roll it into a big goal. About halfway through, it falls down into a little opening where you can be griefed by the other teams. Now, I have a bit of a problem here because the middle team has a higher chance of getting griefed, considering it's in the middle, but this doesn't really matter that much. The main problem is that it's just a bit slow and just a really short minigame, but I think it's decent. Number 37. Ah yes, Seesaw, arguably one of the most popular Fall Guys minigames, but that's not for a good reason. Seesaw is really weird and quite unfair. The way I describe it is, if you're in the front, it's smooth sailing. The seesaws aren't getting bumped around everywhere, you can just walk, it's basically just a straight line. But if you're in the back, it's stormy seas. All the seesaws are going up and down everywhere, and people just don't seem to understand how seesaws work. Because you're trying to cross a platform, then 40 people jump onto it, and it goes vertical, and then you can't do anything. So because it's so luck based, and honestly I don't find it that fun, it's quite low on this list. Number 36. DoorDash is actually a quite popular minigame in Fall Guys, as it was actually one of the first ones to be revealed in the original trailer for the game. And it had like an Aztec kind of feel, which has now been changed. But the reason why it's so low down is because, like Fruit Shoot, it's kind of to run forward, and it's a lot of RNG, depending on which door you get. And if you get the wrong door, you're going to have to get past a huge stampede of people to get past. I actually find this is kind of fun, but I wouldn't really say it's that good of a minigame, which is why I put it so low on the list. Number 35. Snowy Scrap is very similar to Rock and Roll. You have a group of teammates and you have to push a big ball. Except this time it's a snowball, and instead of pushing it into a goal, you have to push it around and make your snowball go really big. And it fixes my problem with the middle lane having an unfair advantage. But my problem still stands there, it's a bit too slow, and also your team can just be really annoying sometimes and just not want to help you. But it is overall a solid minigame. Number 34. Now we have our first Season 4 minigame, which is Basketball. Now this one's premise is basically basketball, which you've probably heard of. Balls spawn in the middle, and you have to pick up the balls, take it to the other side, and jump through some zero gravity to hit it into 3 different hoops. And it's quite fun, but my main problem is that it's a team game, and the team seems to be especially stupid in this one. A lot of people just try and score in your own goal, which is not very good. And it's okay, I guess. Number 33. And now we have Tiptoe, which I would say is a decent minigame. I actually find it quite enjoyable. The whole point is that there's a bunch of tiles, and some of them lead a path to the end, and some of them don't. Some of them just make you fall off. But the problem is, whenever you play it, instead of people trying to make risky moves, it's just everyone on one tile, sometimes pushing someone off. And if they fall off, that's not where you go. If they don't fall off, then you go there. And it just feels a bit sloppy. But when you actually make a path by yourself, it feels so cool. Number 32. Now we have one of OG Taylor's minigames, Block Party. Now, he's probably not going to be very happy that it's this low on the list. But the whole point of Block Party is you're on this little platform and you have a bunch of blocks coming towards you. Now, my problem with it is that it just feels too slow, and if everything's going properly, it just feels too easy. And my problem with it is that when you have too many people on it, then you die because you can't get past all the people. It just feels like you weren't supposed to die because you only died because of all these people. And then you just feel really annoyed. And if you win, it doesn't feel that rewarding anyway. I just don't really like this minigame very much, which is why it's so low down. Number 31. And now we have our final minigame for this part of the video. And that will be Big Shots, another new minigame for Season 4. Now, I'll explain a bit more in the later parts why this is so low, because I think there's a minigame which is basically just a better version of this. But the reason I don't really like it is that it just feels a bit like Block Party. And it has 3 cannons shooting at you, and you're on a seesaw. So it's kind of like if Seesaw and Block Party had a weird child. But the reason I don't like it is because of the 3 cannons. There are 2 positions that you can just stand in, where the cannons will barely ever hit you, and it just makes it really, really easy. I hope you enjoyed the first part of my ranking every single Fall Guys minigame. Now, I think some of you people might be a bit disappointed that I had to slice this into 3 parts. But it's because there were 45 minigames, and it was just going to be too long if I did it all in one video, so I had to split it up. I am very sorry about that, and I'm also very sorry about how long this video took to come out. But I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.